Hey, what's up guys, welcome back. In this tutorial we'll continue our working with router system in Grandjs. In this tutorial we'll know how to add base URL for child routes, and also we'll learn how to render static files from Grandjs server. So let's get started. As we did in the last tutorial, we created an admin router, and this is considered as a main router, and also we have created profile router, which is a child router that we can use inside the admin router. And actually, if we go to the browser and close all these tabs and go to /admin and then /profile, we can see here this is admin profile, which is returned from this route. But what about if we want to group all these routes that are exist in profile router under one base? For example, you have this profile router, you want all these routes to be after /profile, and also you have another router, for example, called product, and you want all the routes inside this product router after /product. So to implement this, it's super easy. So in profile router, which is a child router that we use in admin router, we can define a property called base, and actually base here is considered as the base URL that all these routes inside this router works after. So the base simply could be as for example /profile. So or we can /profile, and here instead of adding /profile, because it will work /admin /profile, we will remove everything and the URL with / which means /admin /profile, and just render this page. So we can now save our updates and go to my terminal, and we will see that everything inside the terminal is working fine. And we can then navigate to localhost 3 admin /profile and refresh the page. We can find that this is admin profile and nothing have changed, because we have our root is /profile /admin /profile. But if we added a new router, for example, which is under get also, and this could be as URL, for example /email, for example, to get my email, for example, and here get email, or we can call it as set dash page. Okay, so we can get set page, and we can see here that we can render this response dot end, and we can end the request with this is page to set information, for example, and save it. So this server is initialized, and go to localhost 3000, and we can see this is admin profile, and we have removed /profile and set dash page. This page is not found actually, but however when we add it after /profile, so we have /profile and /set dash page, and go to his page to set information. And actually this page is working fine after /profile. So we have success to implement all these routes inside this profile router under /profile as a base URL. So the base URL here is /profile, and everything can be get after it. Okay, that's great. And the next thing we will learn in Grandjs is how actually implement multiple child routers inside the parent router. So here we can import router from Grandjs, and also we can here export class. We can call it as product router, which extends this router, and here we can define the base as /product, for example. And after that we can also import the get decorator. So we can say hey, here get, okay, and add get. We can define the URL as /, and here we will return a list of products, for example. So get products, we can say that return this.res.json, for example, to return a JSON response, and implement here as an array. And this array can take for example multiple objects, and the first object could be product, or could be name test, and ID, for example 1, and description could be test description, and then export this class and go to admin router, and actually we can import it here. So we can see /product, and here could it be product router, and also you can call here this.useRouter again, and this reuse router actually could be product router, and save our updates and see our terminal. It works fine, and go to localhost. We can see that everything related to profile is working fine. So set page is working, and /profile is also working. /admin not found admin page because no root is defined here. And if we go to /product, so we can see here response as a JSON. So we can see here that we have an array of objects that we have returned from /product API. And that's all about implementing child routers inside Grandjs routing system. And the next thing related to getting or rendering static files in your application. For example, here inside the source I will create for example directory called public, and this public can have for example index.html, or for example we can grab here an image. So we can for example go here and pull this image and put it inside public directory. So we have this image, and then inside the server actually we have a function called static. So we can go to our documentation, and see here we can search on router static. Okay, so server dot static, or we can search, for example, so inside the Grandjs core, Grandjs core here, and static. Yes, server static. And actually, to define a static inside your application, you can use dot static definition. So we can say here server dot static to define static files, a directory or path, and here you can set the URL, which is the visible URL on the browser. So for example, /assets and so on. So we can say /assets, and then we can define the path, which is the actual path that Grandjs uses to search and look up for images and assets inside the files or inside the file storage. So we can say path, which can be from the documentation here, path.join, and yes, path.join. So we can import here path, import path from, yes, and we can change this directory to /public and change the name of this image as test-img.png. That's great, and copy the name of this. So we can copy the name of this image, and I think it should be working now. And go to the browser and navigate to localhost. Nothing is showing here, so we can say /assets, which actually is the URL that we defined here, and then put the image name. So we got not found page. So I think we can process the cwd, which is the main directory, and /source, yes, and restart it. Yeah, we got the image here. So you process.cwd, which means we go to the main directory, which is the application directory, and then go to /public source /public, which is here source public inside the source, and we can go or remove it outside the source directory. And here process.cwd, and actually this is the actual path that Grandjs uses to search on the requested image or the requested asset. So here we have the image is loaded, and our assets are working fine now with server.static method to define your statics. Yes, however, you can also implement this implementation for a specific router. For example, if you have instead of applying this rule on all the application or on the whole application, you can just define this static for the admin only. So we can comment this function here and go to init in init routers. Yes, here, and or in admin. So we can say, for example, this dot static actually and import the path here. So we define our static inside admin router, so we can import the path here from path. Yes, and let's see what will happen. We have our server. Yes, we don't have now slash assets slash image path because we remove the function. However, when we go to slash admin, you can get the assets again because we have defined our asset path inside the admin. So we define slash assets, and this path actually, or this URL actually, will be applied after slash admin, which is the base URL for admin router. So you can now put some constraints and validations on these paths inside this router to make private routes, for example, make private assets, for example, and so on. So you have a lot of functionalities to do. However, also you can define yes, that's all for implementing assets inside your application. And thank you for watching, guys, this tutorial. Don't forget to make like and subscribe for my channel to get more videos and support me. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.